Good morning, this is Suraj Singh. Unfortunately, I could not continue my videos because of signals errors. Two times it has happened, so I thought to change today's topic to talk something about me, myself. Because I'm talking to you people, you must be knowing what I am, at least to be genuine. And what I was, something to know about me is not publicity, just to interaction means to whom you are talking or dealing, or to whom you are listening or interacting with. Just a kind of career build up, a kind of curriculum vitae, you may say. I'm just giving a brief because I'm not sure when this video may be disturbed again. So it may take 15 minutes about to talk something what I am by blessings of God, by blessings of nature, by blessings of public, and where I have reached, where I was. My name is Suraj Singh, as you all know. My date of birth is January 30, 1955, martyr day of this country, but doesn't relate to that one. I am a normal family person. I was born in Delhi, capital of this country, Bharat. It was Delhi Gate location. House number was 3373, Delhi Gate, Delhi. And I am now living in Faridabad, NCR, Bharat. I shifted from Delhi to this location in 2008. So you may say most of my life I lived at Delhi Gate. I was, my father's name is late Shamlal, Shri Shamlal. We were local people, originally born in Delhi. I don't know for how many centuries we were there, no such record, but we are called local people because there are many classes of people in Delhi. Some people were here born like me and my father and their grandfathers. They are called Delights. Very few Delights are left in Delhi. All are immigrated people. People migrated from Pakistan portion. That those were generally called refugees in those days, and they are generally termed as Punjabis or refugees. There are two types of Punjabis: one those who came from Pakistan in 1947, and those who were originally here in this country that time. So all were same country before 1947. Well, I'm not going into that details, but I'm just trying to tell what I am. Yes, religion-wise, you may say I was born to a parent who trusted in so-called nowadays Hindu or Vedic family or Sanatan family or whatever family. Just this for information. I have no relation to any religion now, and before since I got my mind working itself. I believe in humanity, only in humanity and in profession and in work and in service of humanity, service of God. Then I grew up. I used to stay on my shop, which was on my father, very small shop, very general shop. My father used to work as a tailor sometimes. He was tailor of clothes stitching, etc., etc. But he was not well. He has lost his father, means my grandfather and my grandmother, when my father was 5 years old. He was alone and he had to live himself. After that, well, I was born, my sisters were born, then I I was allowed to study further. I mean to say in schooling, there were no cages in those times. Nothing was there as such. So I was last student. I was last candidate to get admission into Jain Higher Secondary School, Daryaganj. Daryaganj is in Delhi. That I was last student. I got admission in that community school, which was a private society school, but on same pattern as government school. I was lucky to get admission. Otherwise, I had to find some other one. My father applied only in that school, and I got admitted in that Jan Higher Secondary School. In from where I passed my higher secondary in 1971. So you can say 11 years I studied and at school continuously in sequence. There was no change of school. And fortunately, I never failed any year. So you may say when I was in 55 born, must be the 60, I remember it 61 or 16, I got admitted. And I was very weak student, you can say, not intelligent at all. I don't know whether I got a prize. I never got any award, any prize. And I was never considered a student on merit, just a normal below average student. And I consider that I was really, because I was involved in my shop, my father's shop. I never studied at home. I always studied on shop, doing work, studying, arranging material for shop. Means you may say keep busy all time, and I was sometimes very nervous when I was disturbed by customers. What to do? That was too young age and kid. What to do means you can say my study time was not utilized for studies. My time was utilized to support my shop, and I liked it actually. And will you believe it? I never went to play any sports. Never. We used to go to garden sometime evening just to relax or just to means see sky, just lay down in garden, see sky, see what stars are. Well, it's different type of life. Householder. My father was not in position to afford education of myself, my sisters. However, you can say I was not a reservation category, but my father was keen that people, my kids should study. He was not well educated, but he was pro education. And he had some plan when I was in 8th class. He saw some building being constructed and he was impressed with that. Oh, he said, is this a good job? Means if you are in profession of engineering, it's a good one. I want to see engineers of houses, buildings. Such plan comes automatically to people when you see others. So when I was in eighth, he was used to interact with me about this. My mother was not interested in this, but my father was very keen on education. He had not much education, but he used to write in Urdu, and he was very keen that I should be educated. And in eighth, he says, "Oh, this only a course of 8 years, nothing else. 3 years you have to study higher secondary, then 5 years more. It's only 8 years, no question of that." But I was surprisingly statement for me because I knew nothing what he's talking about. I didn't know what engineer was or thing was. I just passed higher secondary, and my marks were, you can say, not appreciable. I got 47% marks to be very frank, and it was called good second division. I could not understand that time also. I never imagined, never dreamed that I would join college because I did not know what was college, what was university. I just, okay, I used to go to school, I learned it, and that's how. Well, and these marks were not because I was intelligent, because just second division, and I knew that there was nothing in this. There's nothing at all. I had no future, but I was lucky. And then there was some acquainted the staff, a professor, my father, who was working in polytechnic, and I didn't know what polytechnic was. I thought people used to discuss the BSc, we had to do MSc, after that we have to do this and with that. Those are so all classes of all types of students, my colleagues, my classmates. We used to discuss something and I could not understand anything. Oh no, no, it's better to do BSc or to do MSc after that, or to do BA or MA after that, BCom. Means everybody had some type of some of my friends discouraged me. Oh, don't think of sciences or don't think of engineering because you cannot do that. You're a duffer student. Yes, I was duffer student. I evaluate now that really I was on lowest type of study. I never understood study and never understood physics and chemistry or drawing, engineering drawing. You can say I was a blank student. If really somebody examined me, I would fail after myself. Yes, I today evaluate. No problem. Means forget competitions. Forget you could go to IAS or you could go to IITs or you go to university or somewhere else for engineering degree or sciences degree. Means I was crossed everywhere. And still I'm lucky. Sometimes, fate, your luck, your fortunes work, sometimes not work. And my father was not in a capacity to afford everything. Even higher secondary, I got by luck because my father did not have any money for payment of my examination fees of boards. He said, I don't have. Okay, no problem. I don't mind that. No, no, no. I went to principal, call my father, call your father. I told principal, I don't have money. You cannot get admission to the examination. I don't know. My father came, so if you want this boy should study, my son should study, fine, or leave him. What to do? I don't know then. I got some support from management of school and I was admitted. This way I went to my education. Means a downtrodden, you can say real downtrodden person, a boy like me, came up at least to school education. Well, I got interested in something else. I was interested in general knowledge, what's going on in politics, what was going on, you can say, the election in those days. It's 1971 when it passed this year, election year. Indira Gandhi, these the old guys used to talk about that with my father's colleagues. Those acquaintances used to come to shop and talk, old guys, senior guys. We used to talk this and that about this and Yahya Khan and Bhutto and all those. I could not understand anything at the time. Yes, they used to talk, but I used to listen, of course. I used to listen to Prime Minister and the guy that time was president and all these conferences among these people. They laughed and jawed and criticized and that, all that. RSS, what is RSS, religion, what is this and that. I know nothing about that. I knew nothing about that. Yes, I heard. They asked me to cut this paper, read it for us. I used to do English and Hindi and explain to them. Oh, this word is like this and that word is like this. Means my education by empirical methods, by practical methods, not by theoretical grammar or translation. So I was interested in learning. My father, no, you learn English, is important. My father was a good mathematics actually. My father was very good in mathematics, arithmetic, mensuration mathematics. He was good one. He was not well educated, but he knew mathematics. So, no, do this solution from this question for me. This middle question, this question, that this was a profit in this, was a loss in this. Just tell me. He used to beat me by a stick. I remember one day I left my school 2 periods earlier. I came to him. How you come? So quickly you come? I left club. What? He was very angry. He took a stick, took me and straight walk and started beating me whole route to school and left me there. You cannot come back and told teacher. If it runs like this, hang him on phone on fan. After that day, I never even thought because some of my friends, some classmates misled me. After that, I remembered now I was beaten. I never went. I never left class. Well, this is just a fairy, fancy story. I qualified higher secondary and some informed me, some professor, do one thing, go to this institute and get one form and also go to one university and get BSc form. And other days said, okay, forget BSc form, just bring this form, go to the institute and get diploma form. Okay, I went there, I filled form, I was called for interview. My teacher in higher secondary school is called Kesirahi. He was drawing teacher, mechanical engineering drawing teacher. He advised all students that day when I was in 10th or 11th, if you want to do engineering, because you are doing drawings, you will not be doctor because you are not doing biological sciences. Because in our schools, the Jan school, there was no biological science at all because of religious factors. They did not accept biology in those days. We have to study drawings, either take drawings or take music. There were some options, so I opted for drawing. That person, that lecturer, the teacher advised, well, if you go to polytechnic or if you go to colleges of engineering degree, don't go for civil engineering. Civil engineering got no scope in those days, according to him. Better either join mechanical engineering or electrical engineering, because in those days there are generally four types of engineering: electrical, mechanical, and civil, and architecture, etc. Architecture was not taught even on those days because we were not engineering. Architecture students, we were thinking of engineering or commerce or arts. Well, for me, everything was new. It's a dream world, an unexperienced person, no family background at all, no one to advise what to should do, what should not do, no one educated in our family, but we are people only, very, very common, lowest profile people. You may sit down to number, economically, socially, standard wise, no standard. And when I used to work on shop, I had to involve myself in all activities, whatever items we used to sell, miscellaneous items, you can say like a general shop, including tea vendor, we have tea vendor as well, one vendor as well, we use cigarette, soft drinks, ice, etc. Means there's no limit. I used to go to bring certain items like Diwali items, like other items, Rakis, etc. All this is do means I don't remember what we did not do except non-veg. Well, I got form from institute, got interview. I was asked if you can. I questioned, I requested, can I get mechanical admission? Yeah, I can get mechanical. No, 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 give me civil. I don't know how. My father wants the building plans and all that. Ultimately got admission to civil engineering in diploma. And really, I didn't know what diploma was. I never heard. I know degree was. But I got in. We started colleges, and there were 30 students in our class. 30, just 30. And they say, oh, very good students come this time. Our lecturer says, very good students come this time. What? Oh, merit students have come this time. See, I was only 47%. Only 47%. And I got merit come means scholarship, which is 500 rupees per year. And one of the last student in our class was from UP, Goswami, and he was having 33%. But that person could not understand anything. He left, he you can say, ran, He dropped. He didn't come back. He was sitting with me, he used to sit with me. So what's this, what's that? I'm not able to understand anything. Because it's all English. Very fast, rapid English spoken by lecturers in those days. Well, I think today you can't even imagine that. Faster in every subject of English, my maths, my physics, chemistry, whatever. Too fast, too excellent. You have to read this, you have to complete this in only 3 years physics, and there's so many subjects of common, of engineering, of this and that. And then practicals, workshops. They say just join at 8 o'clock morning to, I think, 8 or 9 to 4 o'clock afternoon. I used to walk sometime from home to college or go back by walking or come once one route I used to take by bus, 5 paisas or 10 paisas, and then go back walking. No money. We used to mask it, our class, many people except we three, myself, one my sick friend, and then one more non-sick friend. We three never used to mask it. There were cinemas nearby our colleges, and we used to mask it after putting in attendances, sitting in, having sitting with instructor. Well, that was the student's life. After that, I lost my scholarship in second year due to my less marks, and then again got it back in third year. So I passed 3 years. I had one accident also due to some strike, students' strike. In third year, there was a system that all these engineering students would visit India, whole Bharat, for understanding industries, and people always used to dream of that visit because it was free, except your personal expenses. Train was free, movie was booked, and it was for about, I think, 3 weeks. They used to travel here in Delaware, daily, all industries, Bokaro, wherever industries were. But I could not avail it due to some reason. There was a small accident, strike, human strike students that time, that day. This was cancelled visit because of funds, lack of funds, but we used to conduct local visits as well. every week. On Saturdays, used to go to these constructions of buildings under construction here and there, and then some students would submit reports of tour, of visit, and they were given marks accordingly. So I broke my ankle, left leg ankle during that accident, and I was bed for about 1.5 months or 2 months. I think 2 months more. Then I could study only from my bed. Self-study, you can say, for 3 months. No, could not go to school. For examination only, my friends, Manjit Singh Dhaliwal used to take me to school for appearing in examination, bicycle. And I still remember that support from kind of my classmate that cannot be measured in terms of something. That's God-given support, you can say. So I qualified my diploma, achieving 75.5% marks. You may say a rubbish student, a student who could never study, who could not even do time in school's education, as who could not given full time in engineering, half engineering, you can say semi-engineering education. And I was pleased that I got 75% 5 marks, but that time my father was no more. My father left in 1974 because of sickness after my accident. When I came back, he was in hospital and he left. So on 28th January 74, when I was in third year, I had to appear in my examination, my father left. It was another shock onto my mind and family, but I appeared in examinations and you can't stop life. You have to move and move. My higher sister was in graduation those days. Anyhow, it's all different story. But I got marks. You can say I became civil engineering diploma qualified. In those days, you used to call overseer course, or somebody used to call junior engineer course, whatever they used to call me. I didn't know what it was actually, what it was. But then I started my professional jobs. I searched for jobs. Everybody started searching for jobs. Our teachers, our instructors used to joke sometimes. Don't worry, you are all qualified. You're highly qualified people. You'll get job. Everyone will get job, but only for 150 rupees per month. This was, but this was a fact. Salary was that much. In those days, I was happy. At least 150 is okay for me. Yes, no, see, mine in those days 150. Okay, no problem. 150 is okay for 5 rupees a day. It's fine. But cost was also like that. I should travel from my home bus stand to college, which is about 4 kilometers. Just pay 10 paisa, and 1 rupee got 100 paisa. In 10 paisa, you reach 4 kilometers. Just imagine. In third standard, when I used to pay 30 paisa, in you can say eighth standard is to pay 90 paisa, or maybe it is in a higher secondary classes 90 paisa per month. So standard was like that, economy was like that. People were happy. Of course, facilities were not exist. No facility exists in those days. Not even tube lights. Forget calculators. Forget televisions. Forget network. Everything. Forget. Just it was not even a dream in those days. We used to calculate manually by fingers or by calculations, or slide rules were available. I do not know slide rule. Anyway, howsoever I got our diploma, we searched for jobs. I got employed as an assistant, or you can say a helper. You may say helper, not even assistant, helper to one junior engineer through someone. Some of my friends said, okay, there was an emergency duty somewhere near my home. I just visited him at night. He was in flood control. So I got my job here through my father, who is an assistant engineer. I am here in emergency duty. Someone was there, sitting a junior engineer. He told me, if you want, I can get you some small job. I said, no problem. He gave me some references, and I reached there and got tested for that job. He asked me, just go and measure this aggregate stack and tell me what's its quantity. I worked on that. I worked on calculations. I told him, "Yeah, okay, from tomorrow you can come and sit with me, help me." I worked for him for 4 months at 5 rupees per day. 5 rupees per day after 4 months, and I got you can say appointed as a junior engineer in Municipal Corporation of Delhi. They worked for 4 months. Then I transferred to some other department, the Development Authority, where I worked for 6 years. And everywhere I found that I was unfit because environment in which I was brought up, environment where I studied, inspirations that teachers put in me or in other students never matched with practical life. A degree of dishonesty, a degree of malpractice, a degree of cheating, a degree of lying existed everywhere, but in limited percentages. Whether you worked in DDA, I worked in MCD, contractors were available. We had to supervise jobs, and you know what sort of contracts were there. Of course, they were not that type of robbers that you see today. They say, okay, you have to take something, means it is practical. If you are not practical, you cannot work. You may say a salt in flour quality, means a namak aate mein. So such was some means, but I was not interested. I was just interested in further studies. I could not start my studies due to this business of supervision. You have to prepare bills for contractor. You have to take measurements. You have to supervise job. All these activities you have to do because you are the government supervisor. You might just not junior engineer degree because I not degree. I was having this designation. Junior engineer scale was 425 to 700 in those days. 425, which means I could earn 550 rupees per month. And this 550 rupees to my standard of rubbish standard, you can say Juggi Jopri standard. I was Juggi Jopri standard, you may say. I was having a rented house of only 5 rupees per month. And this 550 was not bad for 4 persons or 5 persons of family, means there was no expenses, house rent is low, there was no electricity, there's no television, there's no radio, nothing. You have to eat and drink warm water, milk or tea, and buy your books, spend your fee for education, travel by bus. I was around 50 rupees per month for bus. You may have no value of 50 rupees, but I had value of 50 rupees, travel whole month by bus here and there, from here to there, on my duty. And I used to go to films also in same salary. Take my people also go, come on, let's go. 1 rupee 25 ticket or 5 rupee ticket or 12 rupees was balcony ticket. So I used to start my life in a different mode. And meanwhile, then I was not happy with that job because of corruption, a low degree of corruption. Or you may manage with corruption also if you have no ambition. I could compromise there, okay, fine, but I didn't feel happy. You were forced to take commission. That's why I used to fight with all contractors. Well, I worked in some areas in Ashok Vihar and Wazipur in Delhi, then somewhere else, Panchkuya Road in Delhi. And then at last, when I used to transfer from here and there, I was studying and I was not happy. It's wherever I raised questions about contracts, about this and that. In some dispute arose, I used to go to see items worked on site, construction and then why are you pointing out? Just I used to write an MBA. This work is not done according to specification. It's a big blunder on myself because who are you to write like this in one measurement? In one measurement, Ashok Vihar project, Ashok Vihar project, there's open contractors, open construction. Then I used to check soil pipes and water lines, soil pipes particularly, and I said that this work has not been done according to specifications. And I entered measurements with this entry, and it just as a fired management. Who told you like this? You are entering here. What like this? Here, the work has done. What to do? What to do? You should not have written like this. What should I have written? You should ask me. I am supervising work. I am checking it. Why should I ask you? It's according to contract, not done. Contract clearly says something, you have to fulfill that. I had brought ice codes from Mahanagar, purchased them officially, checked pipes weight, this weight were not matching, sizes were not matching. The ice is not according to standard, substandard. My senior said, you tell him from where to buy pipes. Why should I tell to buy pipes? You have to wait and tell buy pipes. You check according to specific, examine that material. Well, such dispute. First time somebody had written there, work has not been done according to specification. It was a measurement book, I don't know. A measurement book is a legal document. But I didn't understand legally, illegally at that time. I had raised a question also, and the question, where is plumbing certificate? Where's the plumbing license? And that contractor was very angry. Who is it to ask you to? I am qualified engineer. I said, you may be qualified engineer, but you are not working on site. You are an owner of a company. I want a person to whom I can talk with. Well, this all went on, and I was not supported. I was not supported by any senior. I was shunned out and transferred to other site. It happens. Because if you raise objections, if you point out something, they know you are right. But because they don't know stop job, they don't know stop payments of contractor, they say no, this is wrong. So I was child, I was 19 years old, could be. It's not infancy, it was a foolishness at that time. I could not answer profession is, what dealing saw, what practical is. But I was honest, I was sincere. I wrote what I experienced, what I supervised. That work has not been done according to contract specifications. And this was, you can say, ablaze. This was a fire in government management of that circle. How can people write this? Why don't you teach them? And at one stage on another project, one superintendent engineer just visited, inspected, and said, "Do you know specification supervising with?" I said, "No, I don't know specification." What? Yes. I had to tell truth. Because my senior, when immediate senior, when I ask him, get me specifications, is if I provide you specifications, you shall stop this work. Strange. See, in those days, there was no quality system, there was no safety system, nothing. I'm talking about 1975, 76, 77, that era. You can imagine. So these people, I mean, they use this new one. He doesn't know anything. He will take time, but we are suffering. Our work is suffering. Contractors complaining. You know what sort of person you are supposed to my site. He is not allowing work. So I was kept on moving from one place to another and another. Fortunately, I had to stay in Delhi because this department was confined to Delhi, not all over India. If it's all over, I will have a problem. But I was interested not in job. I was interested in studies, further studies. Because when I was in Delhi, I could study further. There's one institution of engineers course, so section A and section B, I had to qualify to become a graduate engineer or a bachelor engineer because I had only diploma. So I passed through all these problems. Then I was transferred to another department, which is called Slum, JJ Slum. There I was posted far from my home, just having about hundreds of sweepers under my charge. And I had to study that time. Examination of my head. So I left that stove because I and got dysentery. I was interested in studies. However, one time I requested my superintendent engineer, please, I don't want any responsibility of site. I don't want responsibility of any works. Just put me in planning or somewhere where I can leave in the evening to attend my classes or I can find some time to study. So they put me in coordination and I was busy in coordination and I had plenty of time to go to my private institute where I was taking classes, and this way I passed through this critical phase. And in 1980 December, I could pass my graduation from Calcutta Institution of Engineers. I passed that qualification in 5 attempts total, section A and section B. There used to be 17 subjects, 9 subjects for section A and 8 subjects for section B. I passed those 9 subjects in 3 attempts, you can say. In first attempt, I appeared for 6 subjects and qualified 5. I failed in one subject, applied thermodynamics. I don't know which one passed me, applied thermodynamics test. Then I passed other subjects in second one, and then last one, thermodynamics in third one, section it was passed. Then I had to appear in referee project interview, and it took 6 months. And then section B, I appeared in 2 attempts and passed that. So I had completed my engineering bachelor equivalent course program in 1980. You can see this travel of 74-year diploma and 80 degree. 6 years it took for to complete degree, but actually study was only for 2.5 years. Other times I did not take any interest in study. From 75 to 78, I did not consider too much to study because I was having a job and was busy in that. I thought, what, why I have got whatever I had a good salary, no problem. But somebody challenged me, one of my social colleague, he challenged me that better you marry and settle. You have not competent to study further. While he was studying himself, I was angry. So okay, you're challenging me. Challenge. What do you think I cannot study? Okay. He had already passed many subjects of section. I did not even start. Okay, I told him, don't worry. He was engineering student. He passed diploma after my. He was junior to me, but he was moneyed person. He has family background. He had no problem at all. He started his studies. Okay, you have passed. So here now you see, you are challenging. I'll do it. High qualified, complete it in subject. This was still pending for him. He could not qualify that. But anyway, challenge sometimes good, sometimes bad. So I got my degree, that is called, and that was called at the time actually AMI degree. It was called II graduation, and after that you could apply for membership, and you can apply for chartered engineer status. That is that one, and it was under, and it's still under Royal Charter. It was approved by Royal Charter of King George V in 1935, and it's a part of our law in this country. So I am from that stream. I'm not directly qualified from university as well as from IITs. I was very weak student, you can say. I cannot be counted in any merit. And I respect that. With whatever I am, I am. I am very weak student. I had been weak student. And I respect being weak because family background never allowed me to participate or give time to studies. Sometimes I used to walk on roads to remember formulas or remember some theories or some other applications of engineering or non-engineering, social sciences, which is not engineering. Then there are so many other subjects, geology, which has got not much numericals. There were some subjects which were not interested one, but one was required to qualify them. And that happened with me. Well, this was my, you can say, basic educational background. Then I was not interested in doing that job of Delhi Development Authority that time. My friends were all were earning money, but I was not intending to earn money. My father had put in my mind honesty is best policy, be honest, sincere, and work. So I was thinking, leave this job, find some overseas job. As per very famous in those days, people were those people who were not interested in government jobs or interested either to leave for Gulf or Middle East and work there. Because they say if you want to work in this country, you will not be respected in private sector. Either be an engineer in government sector or live overseas. I was keen to earn money, but not by bribing, not by commissions, not by all that. I was interested to earn money by work, by engineering. I applied in many interviews. I was, after having passing this degree, applied in one company for Iraq. I was interviewed and I was rejected because in those days one overhead tank collapsed in Delhi Development Authority. They raised many questions. What was your contribution in that tank collapse? I had no answer. And there were so many technical questions, engineering questions. Really, I failed to answer. These questions were not theoretical. Questions were practical. What my questions? And I was government junior engineer. And I have no practical knowledge because I used to supervise contractors' work and that too without studying specifications. To be very frank, why should I lie? I actually knew nothing about engineering. I knew nothing about construction technology. Just see what contractor is doing, don't raise questions, let them do what they want. Main responsibility is building. Building should be in time, valuation should be in time, so that they are making payment in time. running bill payment, this payment, because running bill were most important than final bills. Running bills means running commissions, maybe 1%, 2% commission people used to. Wow, I didn't understand all this means. However, then I was appointed in some company and I left my country for overseas job and I entered Iraq, worked there in some company, and I could not understand what I had to do. Because I was in government and there was no meaning of government work there. It was a private company organization, and in overseas or in Gulf countries or in Middle East, system is different. It's not what we do here. There, engineer means engineer. It doesn't mean gazetted officer or you are administrator. You were required to deliver what was asked for. Even if you are from contracting company, you have to get job done. Even if you are from consultancy company, you have to get job done, supervised. Even if you're a designer, you have to get job done. Get job done or do it is first requirement, then all other requirements. So I was there. I started working. I could not understand. Then somebody told me, "You, I have to deliver. You have to get work through labor, through material. You have to demand material." Means whatever a contractor does, you have to do that. You are not a supervising engineer here. You are not a government engineer here from Bharat, India. You have to do everything according to contract, and you do it. Well, in one company, I could not understand but tried to learn. Then I joined second company after 6 months. I was more successful, started success, understand what to do. Means I was not a supervisor, I was a worker. I was like a educated labor. So I started thinking that way that I am a helper, I am a mason, I am a carpenter, I am a foreman. Like that, you change your thinking and you get success. Then I joined another company because there was some problem in that company. I third company, and then there was a question of some other reasons, financial reasons, that remittance was a format sector. But I learned in Iraq lot which I could not earn in 6 years of daily till number 30. Then I went to Libya. There were so many happenings in Iraq itself, which doesn't mean anything. But career is concerned means I started learning. You can say I started learning from those supervisors who come on behalf of President Saddam Hussein that time. I used to check our job in millimeters, lengthwise, height-wise, plumb-wise, dimension-wise. And I was surprised that this was never done when I was in TDA. Nobody cared. We never checked what should be done by my contractors work. I was supervising contractors work. Means I should have also checked like that. But I never did. Because I was never asked. So I'm not demanded. Means there was no engineer demanded you do like that. It's their choice. You do or don't do it. Now, as time has gone, it's just history for me. Next one that I learned, I thought, really, it is engineering. So why we are not doing in our country? Well, forget that. I need job. I went to Libya. So joint venture of government of India, government of Bharat, and government of Libya. I was civil engineer here. In Iraq, I was junior project engineer. I was project manager, project engineer, senior engineer, like that. Companies designations means they have just designation for sake of designation, not for power authority. But if you are in responsible way of your resource management, then management grants you power. But that is risk one. I had to face something in Iraq which is very, very. This company did not pay to labor for a few months, and there was unrest in that company. And I was considered chamcha of management. Chamcha means I was favorable by manager. Manager favored me because I was working for. I worked for them day and night and took work from people, and they were angry why this man is forcing us so much to do. So what happened? I was put in longer strikes, and the owners were not able there. Strike, unrest, and thing, and I was put in cabin for whole day. Then some of my Bangladeshi resident engineers assistant came there and informed resident engineer police came. I was escaped. I was escorted by police and people starting unrest there, and even bullet was fired. I escaped that one. Once it happened there, and people are not with that one, then I had injury on my head. I was taken to hospital by police, and then these people, these names, those names, I registered police reached them to arrest them. These people left side and they got shelter of embassy of our country. Then we were introduced to embassy. Anyhow, that was resolved. Means it was not a very pleasing experience, you can say. It was administrative better experience, and but only experience was that I got interested in that. I was learning a lot. I learned a lot physically, technically, and see trains, thousands of trains. I had to study there whole night, day and night, whenever time, architectural, structural services. All these trains, well organized blueprints, and you have to study in full A0 size. So we should do a lot. But I could not imagine when I was in DDA that there would be so many drawings. There will be so many specifications, so much, and you have to work day and night. What's happened there? Well, Iraq closed for me. I went to Libya, started there. It was different world. Libya, a different country, different management. Their engineer was more powerful. You are an engineer of government, register yourself. I have to register in union, syndicate you may call it, or society of engineers you may call it. I was a registered engineer, and my name was A.N.G. Suraj Singh. It's not much valuable in Iraq or Bharat, but engineer means you must be member of Society of Engineer. Otherwise, you cannot write word or designation engineer with you. My manager was Libyan, could not write engineer with his name because he was not engineer. But if you are an engineer and you are having engineer appointment visa, you must be registered with their association, or else you cannot be regarded as Mohindas engineer. Engineer means Mohindas in Arabic, and Mohindas, which I analyze, is different. Just for your information, it's not Mohandas. We call it Mohandas. It is, to my understanding, Mahan means great, and dust means these are called dust hands. That is great hands. So it is Mahan dust. They call it Mahan dust in short. So we'll go and Mahindas means engineer, and manager means Mudir. Mahodhe, Modehe. Just for your information, I'm telling you. So Libya, I worked for about 2 years in Libya. Well, I was in isolation for 2 years, working with 35-6 and many more non-6 in desert. There was no city here near my project. Army area, the name was Sirte. Before that, I was Benghazi for 1 or 2 months for planning purpose. And in Sirte, I stayed there. Same place. This is my residence, that's my site. Eating free, food free, everything free. I got fat. Free food, enjoy it. No driving, nothing. Stay on project, get material work done. So I worked there on foundations of power station for 2 years. French drawings. I was executive, I was supervisor, I was engineer. I had to check my work myself. I had to arrange for materials, for water, for everything, and take work from people and supervise itself. And then those people would come and certify. Also, it was erection work, post foundations, and I was considered very efficient there, very good, because whenever they used to come, work was going on, moving according to the speed work. But I didn't like that because of personal reasons. Again, same remittance problem. See, if you work and you cannot send your money, could not send your money to your home country for your home. If I was forced to only send 75% or 50%, because I was bachelor, and for okay, for family, if your wife or kids is no problem, you can spend money there. Policy of Libya was that time because they had no more foreign exchange. You cannot send more than 50%. My salary was only 200 dinar. Nowadays, look, you can live in dinars, and 1 dinar is about 25, 28 rupees. If you could not send whole 200, what you had means I had to send only half, and I know no place, no way to spend that money. Remaining one, how much can I eat? Eating was not expensive there, and they used to get eating allowances, food allowances. So well, I like to stay there. It's a government job, government of our country and government of Libya. And you had future, you could say you work in government, but I quit that. I quit that. So my one assignment of Iraq is over for 2 years, and the second assignment of Libya is over for 2 years. Then I flew to London just to find something, but I was not successful. In London, I think civil engineers they have enough and they don't need foreigners for their work. I forgot that. I came back. It was just a tour, visit, and then what to do. My government job that I left, there was no meaning to think of that. Then there's another advertisement. You see, in those days, civil engineers were required. Even if you resign a job within a couple of months, you get on the job. You used to get on the job. This happened with the same. I got a job of Doha, Qatar, after my one interview in Saket in those days, and I was selected as site engineer or senior engineer. You may call I see engineer site. You means you're a lay manager, simply saying I was a layman engineer. I started this Doha. I was a little relaxed, though I was in stress. Relaxation was that whatever you earn, you can repatriate. No income tax, no restriction. If you earn 2,000, you can send 2,000. If you earn 3,000, you could send 3,000. It's up to you. It was 3.5 rupees in those days. I got 2,700 salary. I started working as a site engineer or site agent. I worked first on a project as landscaping of schools, 5 schools group, and I worked there for about it was a few weeks on that project. And I simultaneously I request them to give more job. He said, okay, come on, do bidding work for us. And I used to work in afternoon for bidding as well because after 2, 3 o'clock sites are closed at 4 o'clock. Then you have free time. So my cook was there for food, so I had free time, 2, 3 hours every day. I used to spend there in office, in head office, and working with tenders and calculations and all that. Next day, when my 11 months over, they asked me that you go on leave, come back. I'm not interested. No, you go now because a project is coming, a school project, property school project is coming, and we want to think. We are thinking that you are there. Well, I was supposed to go on leave. School was there, about 14 million projects that time, and I started that. I started that one. Again, no support from management for quality. My CV was to be approved by government, by consultants. This British guy, project manager, British means chief of British team or consultants there, Qatar consultants group called. They were our supervisors, our managers. They used to manage our works, this oversee our works, and I was just caught red-handed when there was some slum problem in one concrete mix. He said, you're not complying with specifications. There's a problem. You're not taking care. He held my CV unapproved, but I was allowed on site. I worked continuously, did quantity surveying, did technical work, did BBS preparations, and did every activity myself, spending days and night taking some work at home and working there on bar chart or calculations. Because again, no computer, nothing in those days. There was no quality system, there was no safety system, no other department. Everything you were supposed to do, and I am happy that I learned there. I was quantity surveyor, I was site engineer, I was project engineer, I was planning engineer. Means whatever you name it, you are. You are corresponding engineer, you are a contract engineer, Means you, because you are from India, you know good English, you know can compose letters, take responsibility. And this Lebanese guy or some other guy, they just used to sign sometime, or you sign yourself. Because letters were sent to contractor, letters sent to person from head office. There was no typing arrangement site. We just send these letters manually written to our head office, and we used to finalize them after typing, send and copy to us. Well, this continued, and I completed all structures. Our management was happy that he's working a lot and he's busy in that, and his mind as well. I was, he has had the talks of very big guys, when you're the you talk to him. He has head. They don't say mind. Oh, he has head. You talk to him. He's too much head. Use this head. They used to call us. Well, I was nothing. I have many Lebanese people with me. I have many Philistines with me. I had Indians with me. I had Thailands with me. Well, you name, you will find many nationalists with you. Pakistanis, few Bangladeshis. But we used to treat them as a family, means there was no nationality friction. You are owned by your employed by company, and company is Qatari, manager is Lebanese, general manager is someone else, your supervisor is someone else, your foreman is someone else. You have to deal with them. It's international work, international specification. Qatar was only country where heavy specifications, heavy quality control, because all British managed that time. System is a must. But they used to accept you if you logically justified what you were doing. They questioned you everything. Everywhere they questioned you. They used to be site book, site director, so called. You have to enter all the activities in that. How, what were you, what the project, what activities were doing, what resources arrived, what material arrives, how many people arrived, what they were, what were the everything, temperatures, atmospheric, all that means you had to complete every day and record and send them to your office as well as to consultant for government purpose. Means everything manual. And they associate this guy is working a lot in CM because British can't work on all activities. And we can work because we are generally educated and they are specifically. There is a difference. Education in our country was general one. You enter whatever field you want and learn there. This was policy in those days. General education is more weight than specific education. At least our citizens should earn. Though it is low, it's maybe half, but that person can live and improve. That was basic scientific basis. Well, I was happy with that. That is, I'm learning something. I was learning something a lot, which I could not learn in our engineering. I could not learn in DDA. I was learning the specifications, Qatar specification, British specifications, new type of designs and drawing, method statements, and many technicalities. How to supervise, how to arrange, how to go to that. Yes, there are errors, of course. Errors are acceptable. I also did mistakes. I also did errors, but they were standards. You have to learn. And those people, of course, they cooperate with you if you commit errors. If you are genuine with them, I mean, genuine, they would help me. If I hide, say, don't hide anything. A simple instruction from our British people. They are trust with us. If you hide, we don't feel happy. We feel we are not trustworthy, and trust is our wealth. If we think you are not trustworthy, we think you are our asset. And if you think you are not reliable, you are not trustworthy, we don't respect you, we condemn you, we push you out. This is something called what sincerity is. This sincerity is. So you make mistakes, no problem. We can remedy that. We can think together. Don't hide anything. If there's a problem in formwork or in concrete, don't try to hide that. You see that, discuss with us, find solution. We find solution. Do it that way. That's it. Why want to steal? Don't steal anything. Don't hide anything. If you hide anything, you lose it. Don't lose it. We want that you be our trustworthy. You win our trust, and we are together happy. This is job. This is our job. This is your job. Our destination is same, that we have to complete this job, which is important for us. It's your destination, it's my destination. Better be clear. Work according to agreement. Work according to contract. You do our job, we do our job. You do your job, we do our job. But we are reaching same destiny. Project is same. It is your project, is our project. Client is same. Your client, our client. You are paid for what you have done. We have to ensure whatever you're doing, you're paid for. And whatever you're getting, you're paid doing it. So quantity and quality you have to maintain. Don't cheat and tell us facts. And if you hide and discover, you know what we can do. We can reject your CV. We can demand that this person be replaced by some other. That's all. So one time I am as unexpected when my slump was caught that it was over beyond tolerance. They forced our management to get one senior guy who can control this, and unfortunately senior guy came too, but that guy failed. And by that time I had reached to required levels. Well, I completed structure, I completed, you can say, block work and many items, services, anything, and I had to go on leave. My contract of 1.5, 2 years were over. I had to go on leave and come back. I asked to come back because maybe on this project we don't keep us on the project. And I annulled my leave, went there, came back, and it was third project for me. It was Army's project, Army training camp. I worked there another for a few years, 2 years, successfully, with full fever. My management said, you have changed one. And I learned a lot actually. I got license, also driving license. I was even car and flat and everything. And then I completed 4 years in that company. And due to certain circumstances, which I can't, I don't want to remember those circumstances, my personal circumstances of family, etc. And then I left that job. It was 1985. I worked there from 1985 to 1989. I left that job, and I think, yes, I I left and had some problem. I could not leave country due to something, and started work in our country. I did some planning work, some other work. I thought to do some township project because I was having dynamic mind, and you can say I wanted to promote myself. I did something. I prepared some scheme for NCR, big scheme, but I was searching, looking for some promoter. Tried many, but nobody was interested. So you're just selling imagination. This never happens like this. And in those days, there were no promoters except some, I think, Pushpa Builder or DLF, like only two or three, not very common. My scheme was big one. I had to do something to pass my time and write something. So I was learned as well as I do. I have still those drawings with me. But then again, I thought I want to be successful in this country. So I worked a lot on that. And I moved back to Doha in 95, worked in some company, Mid-Mac, for their LNG project in, you can say, Dukhan here, Dukhan, Akhor, you go further there, Dukhan. Then also one beach villa was there. I worked for 1 year there in that company, and then I shifted. I had to work all because I was forced to learn computer. I didn't want to learn computer. My British man who took interview for about 45 minutes in Delhi. He raised so many questions, but he said, your CV is very bad. You don't know, you can't type it well. It's written like as you wrote. No, it was typed wrong. When he made the remarks, he said, doesn't look very attractive, but he knows basics of engineering. Whatever questions I asked, he replied generally all questions. And his English is good, his basic knowledge is good because he had raised many questions we never expected of. For example, various questions of about about, you can say, what type of concrete you use in nuclear reactors. I never studied that. I just had some knowledge of that. You say, oh, nuclear structure means you need I'd say dense concrete, and you see, if you're dense concrete, you do. I simply told him, you know about that? Yes, I know. Put still shards in that and increase density of concrete. So it's, he rose some questions which I never did, but I generally knew those because of AMI studies, which has no limits. I'm pride that I studied Section A and Section B of Institution of Engineers, which is limitless, which has no limit of questions. Even though IIT is limited, but IEI is not limited. You have to study yourself, self-study, and there is no limit to self-study. You can study whatever level you can. Or then means I said, okay, I had to leave anyway. My salary was a little better there. Then I went to UAE after Doha. UAE is my second job in Doha. First job was in that Alatia contracting for 4 years, I explained to you. Then back to this one. This was another job for November back. This was 94, 95. When I joined a company, Khalsa Contracting in Abu Dhabi, where I was appointed as chief engineer for commercial projects in Abu Dhabi. And of course, company was not very big. They have small projects, but building projects, 4 or 5 projects, and I have staff, and there was work. I worked there for 1 year, something like that, and then I joined another company. So Al Jaber Contract, Al Jaber Energy Services. I was appointed on that based on my in-depth knowledge of engineering. I was interviewed in Delhi by Randy, one Mr. Randy from who's human resources manager from that company. He interviewed me. He saw my certificate examined and he said, "Can you help me?" So because he interviewed me and then I had to answer questions, it's call on call, telephone from Doha, from Abu Dhabi Rois. This person was Ali Roh, and those many questions about engineering in his presence because that poor guy could not come to that place for interview. He had some problem and he said, "Okay, after Bombay, I go back to Abu Dhabi." And this manager interviewed me and okay, I was selected for that position of that one. Then this human resources manager really requested me if I could help him for interviews. If you are having time, I have no problem at all. I was there for 3 days with him, interviewing all, and I helped him. Then say, okay, well, I did not do my way. I did not do his way. Technical activities I did myself, and managerial and administrative he interviewed. So I interviewed in my own way with whatever discipline you have, junior or senior and all that. He was impressed. He was impressed a lot. He said, okay, we meet in Abu Dhabi, and he misused me. He didn't call me immediately. He's okay, I'm coming to Madras, agent of Madras. I'm coming here, and this agent said, you have to help him again. So this he held me for a few months because he was coming to Madras. He didn't want to bring that engineer with him. This is Suraj is there, I'll take his help. I was sent to Madras for 4 days. I interviewed there 500 people, I think more than 500 people. And these people were so excited with so many questions, asking all disciplines. How this man knows? Well, I didn't mind that. However, they said, this time you have come, you have rejected. Next time you'll be prepared and come back again. Well, it happened, and I joined that company. And I was posted on site as site engineer. And again, same thing, disputes with people and others. I have all I did is Lebanese foreman, that means they saw is a fighting person. They saw one positive thing, also positive quality also in that he's writing every question. He's preparing memos for technical questions. He's writing method statements. So one bridge there. There's a big management there, big site management from client as well as called. This is Algebra was against a civil subcontractor as well. It's not from Bechtel. Bechtel was main contractor. They are design EPC contractor, and Baruch was a company owner. A company can say. So this British guy who was quality manager, he from behind scene asked project manager, withdraw this man from site, post him as office engineer. So I don't know. They know he's making disputes. And this, I did about 2 months, I think 1 month or 2 months on site. I was pulled back to office to take your different case. You are responsible for office engineering. Of this office engineering, a last list was given to a job description. So I worked there for 3 years in that position. In that position, we are about 35 foremen working here. Many engineers is about big project of ethylene cracking plant, which is 600,000 ton per year. This was ethylene plant. I worked there, enjoyed, learned a lot. Site technical queries, engineering technical queries, method statements, drawing designs, so much. I kept busy myself whole day from 4:30 a.m. to late. I used to walk from camp to there. So I enjoyed these 3 years, and I had to complete all as builds, shop drawings, all that, working drawings, as built drawings, record drawings, and then job was completed. I I was demobilized as well, and then you see it was my career of voice. I left, then I joined some other company. Yes, I joined some other company. What to do? You have to find jobs. I have written all these details in my CV, which I did originally. I did some work in Delhi for some time. I started learning my further education, or you can say just general, nothing else. Meanwhile, I started, when I left Khalsa, I had some time in those times. I used to learn computers as well because somebody has challenged that. Well, computer, I spoiled my eyes and too much in that. And it was, again, I had to go back. I thought to go back to Doha in 2004. I got interview elected, and I went back to Doha in some other company. I worked 1 year. So Al Huda, I was project manager there, or project manager, combined position, you might say. I worked there for 1 year in Doha. Sayed, record center of Qatar Petroleum. And Qatar Petroleum means national oil company it is. And you had to follow their methods, their system. Otherwise, you could not work there. I did that. And Al Huda means I got work. And after that, I came back from there. Some old guy in our Al Jabar, he contacted me. He was Mukul Ganguly, who was estimation manager, tendering manager, you may say. He contacted me and he called me in his tender section, bidding section, contract manager section, you can say, of whole company. And he employed me as a senior engineer, tendering or billing, estimation. I worked there for 4 years in that position, supporting estimators and managers, and I got opportunity of many documents reading, contracts reading, specifications reading, writing, questioning, bidding details, quotations, invitations, all types of, you can say, management job, contract management job, procurement job, like that, means miscellaneous types of jobs. And 4 years finished, they wanted to send the site to some other project. I didn't like that. I did not accept what they said. Well, I'm not interested, sorry. I was back to Delhi, back to Bharat. And 2008, I started my own house building, construction, and I was busy for 2 years on that because I was doing everything on that, and I had to invest my money there. I did not trust any contractor or son, so again I was free in 2010. And then I joined Saudi, worked there for 6 months in one hospital project. Having Then I joined again Qatar on the project for 6 months, and after that I started my own work. Not very successful, but some we can say arbitration consultancy like that. And then time is over. I was aged one. Now I'm 65. You think I cannot get job? Of course I cannot get job, as I used to expect that from before. So I'm still in consultancy, but my consultancy is not good in this slowdown of economy. I don't mind that. That is my blank. That's my even superficial curriculum vitae. So I keeping my busy in political angle, from political understanding of this nation, constitutional. I want to see the constitution. I want to know what's happening. I want to read news. I want to write. I want to do something. And I'm now put myself on social websites, Facebook, like, and interacting with you guys. And that's very, very interesting one. As far as my I wanted to share my knowledge with people. For example, on structural engineering for Forum of India, I used to write, I used to help people, but people are not happy. I'm finding different characters in public now. Even engineers who come duly qualified, they're not to that time. They just want things done to them. Paki pakai khana hai. They don't want to take interest in learning. They just want to get it done. That's it. That means learning in depth. Time has gone. Whatever we need to do means those people who are seniors, knowing what it is to do. That kind of atmosphere changed. Now, though there's an improvement in quality systems, IS 9000 and Sigma, some other systems are there. Safety systems are there. Everything has been coded out. But only coded out. European codes are there, American codes are there, Indian codes are there. Everything is there. But involvement is not there. Conscience is not there. You go and see. You won't find quality. You may say, oh, it's very nicely done. But those who understand quality won't say, oh, no, it's not done. Safety is not done. Projects have been constructed, but risks have been there. Nobody is sure. Time has changed. I wrote many. I wrote some books also in my life. I wrote building practice. I wrote construction site management. I wrote some many others on web. I put safety, I put, and other systems I put. From time to time, I was copying just to, without any, I don't need any money for that. It's just service to society, service to community and to nation. And whatever book I got, it did not work well. I don't know if worked well or not, but still in circle. But other books this publisher didn't accept because so professional books are not sold saleable. One textbook written by professors are only saleable. I'm not interested to sell my books. If people benefit from that, that's fine. And if people don't benefit, that's my bad luck. That's all I can say. But I'm not working for bad luck or good luck. I am working because engineering is very boring. System is very boring. It's not film, it's not cricket, it's not game. It's seriousness. If you think it's for enjoying, then you are in wrong stream. Go to enjoying field. Work of engineering is not happy. It's up to you after working in engineering. If you feel happy, if you feel happy, fine. It's your choice, your way. And if you think you're not happy, it's but I know answer to that. Now what's happening? If you keep in touch with that, I'm interested in the constitution, the law. I'm interested in what's happening, to comment on that, write on the think on that. It's for you, it's not for me. I'm not going to prime minister of this country. I'm not going to get this country. It's just for service to people. Means if we cannot change ourselves, we cannot change other world. I said everybody has cumulative career. It's not simply degree you start with, a diploma you start, your doctorate you start with. That is only a start. But where do you accumulate? How do you accumulate it, and how you keep moving and reach certain destination? That is more important. And destination is not limited as well. You have one destination, then you have another destination. There was further destination, the further study and improved study, or interdisciplinary study, or study, for example, law, though they're not lawyers. You have to study law in engineering. You're not a lawyer, you have to study law in arbitration, you have to study law in chemistry, you have to study law in so many places. It doesn't know it's a law. Code itself is a law. Coding of engineering itself is a law. Means you have to write, you have to communicate, you have to analyze, you have to design, you have to work with, you have to understand humanity, you have to understand labor, you have to understand contractor, you have to understand management, you have to understand people. All these are required. And these are not the final one. First of all and last of all, you have to understand yourself. Final understanding is you have come alone and you will go alone. You have not brought anything with you, you will not anything with you. That is final understanding. But in between two boundaries, you are there, your ambition is there, your hard work is there, everything is there. You have to sit on that, move on that. And if you move on that only for money, money will not give you anything. You will leave it as well. You have to decide what to do, what's your final destination. Now, this is my CV, which I just get you for information, just to know what a person who's wasting your time in talking every day is all about. I am very junior, ordinary, layman person, neither a celebrity nor anything, and I don't want to be, because you have to be within yourself. Sometimes it is better to work and be hidden rather than exposed and be leader, be celebrity. I am star. Yes, it's up to you. It's up to you. Who stops you? You be leader, be star, but you have to be leader in your own. You have to be confident. You have to be sure of what you are doing. That is much more important than something else. Well, I'll not take this CV much longer. I would simply say, don't make your career just money earning bag. Your work cannot be measured in money terms alone. Money alone cannot be evaluated to your work. You have to work for this world, for this world, and for this world. This world is not owned by you, it's owned by Almighty. I have always I have always in my mind, in my soul, put an undertaking, automatic and unbound undertaking, never ending undertaking, that whatever I do for Almighty, for superpower, and whatever I do or I succeed in, it is that success for Him, for God, not for me. Because I am neither origin, I am nothing, I am nor end. I am a power of that universe, that almighty superpower who is using me. And that is power's right. That power uses me for whatever purpose that knows. Because we don't know results, we know nothing about that, and that is what is important. And I don't know what to say about that. And it is really very surprising and very different to understand. Not so easy. How what do you want? Good morning. Yes. What do you have to say? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I am answering good morning. Yes. Continue. What do you have to say? Yes. क्या बोला है भाई? ठीक है, आई एम फाइन, हाउ आर यू? यस, टेल मी व्हाट यू वांट. Hmm? Sorry? For what? I can't understand. What's your question? What's your question? What is your question? What? What do you want to know? What do you want to know, my dear? Any question? Hmm? Sorry. What? What's Achima? I don't understand what you are saying. Are you saying something? What something? What for you called me? Sorry? I don't know what is saying about you. Is there any question? Thanks then. I don't know what he said. Anyway, sorry for disturbance. Somebody called me. Well, I would say thank you very much for having time to know about me. I don't want to prolong this further. I just got an opportunity today because my other programs were disturbed. And I close in tomorrow. I'll take again same solar system with you guys if I could get continuation of signals, and therefore interested to tell you all that. Well, I close it now, not taking further. मैं हिंदी बता देता हूँ थोड़ा जो देखिए भाई, मैंने पास किया था 1974 में अपना सिविल इंजीनियरिंग का डिप्लोमा. उसके बाद 1980 में डिग्री पूरी की थी कलकत्ता से. इसका नाम इंस्टीट्यूशन ऑफ इंजीनियर्स है. और ये मेरी ऐसी पढ़ाई बस हो गई, समझ लीजिए ज़बरदस्ती की गई. मेरी इतनी हैसियत नहीं थी कि मैं इतना पढ़ पाता किसी भी सूरत से, फाइनेंशियली या किसी तरह से. कैसे किया, क्या किया, मुझे नहीं पता, कर गया बस. झगड़ा करता करता, स्ट्रगल करता करता कुछ आगे बढ़ गए जिंदगी में, तो बढ़ गए. शायद सरकारी मदद थी उस टाइम, जो भी था, जो आज की तारीख में नहीं मिलने वाली है, वो मदद मिल गई. एक तरह से कह सकते हो फ्री में डिप्लोमा हो गया, और फ्री में बाद में डिग्री भी हो गई, और फिर फ्री में नौकरी भी लग गई, और नौकरी भी करी, झगड़े भी करे, और फिर चले गए, छेड़ आगे बढ़ गए, दूसरे देशों में काम किए, कुछ सीखा नहीं सीखा, कुछ भी किया गलत सलत, और इसी तरह से जिंदगी बीत गई. और अब क्या, दोबारा तो आनी नहीं है. यह है कि जो है दे जाओ लोगों को, नहीं तो काम नहीं आता. हमें किसी ने कुछ नहीं दिया, हम सोचते हैं जो है तो दे दो लोगों को. भाई कुछ दे दो लोगों को तो कोई बात बन जाएगी. उनके काम आएगी तो आएगी, नहीं आएगी तो मेरा तो कुछ जा नहीं रहा. अगर वो लेते हैं उनकी मर्जी, नहीं लेते हैं तो उनकी मर्जी. हमें तो कोई देने वाला भी नहीं था, कोई भी देने वाला नहीं था. तो क्या करते, अपने आप छीनना पड़ा पब्लिक से, लोगों से सीखना पड़ा, जबरदस्ती सीखना पड़ा. क्या करेंगे आप, नहीं कुछ कर सकते. वही हाल हुआ. लेकिन फिर भी मैं कहूँगा आज के लोगों से, नए नए लोगों से, ज़्यादा उम्मीद नहीं रखो लाइफ में. ज़्यादा कोशिश पहले करो काम करने की. यहाँ होता क्या है, आजकल लोग खुद कोशिश नहीं करते, कहते हैं कोई करके दे दे हमको. मैं देखता हूँ बहुत सारी वेबसाइट्स पे, ये एक्सेल फाइल दे दो हमें, वो एक्सेल. अरे यार खुद कुछ तो करो पहले. आप दूसरे से ही लिए जाओगे तो अपने आप क्या करोगे. अपनी आदत ऐसी गंदी क्यों कर रहे हो कि आपको कोई फीडबैक देता रहे, क्यों देता रहे आपको. आप कोशिश तो करो, सोचो तो सही, कुछ पढ़ो तो सही. आपको भगवान ने विद्या दी है, आप पढ़ के आए हो, एकदम क्यों मांगते हो कि हमें पकी पकाई रोटी दे दो हम खा लेंगे. आप कोशिश तो कीजिए, एक बार, दो बार, तीन बार. जब तक कोशिश नहीं करेंगे, गिरेंगे नहीं, कुछ पाएंगे नहीं, कुछ नहीं होगा. धक्के खा के ही आगे बढ़ा जाता है. आप धक्के तो खाना नहीं चाहते, आप चाहते हैं मुझे फटाफट मिल जाए, मेरी पैकेज बढ़ जाए. ये पैकेज दिमाग से निकाल दो. ये जब से इस देश में पैकेज का नशा आया है कि मेरे को इतनी पैकेज मिलनी चाहिए, तब से ये देश बर्बादी की तरफ चल दिया है। मैं सच बता रहा हूँ आपको, इस पैकेज ने ऐसी बीमारी डाल दिया है कि मेरी तो 3 लाख महीने की पैकेज है, या 36 लाख साल की पैकेज है, या 25 लाख साल की पैकेज है। उस पैकेज के चक्कर में आप लोगों ने दिमाग का इस्तेमाल बंद कर दिया है, हथियार बन गए, औजार बन गए उन बड़ी कंपनियों को जो आपको लूटना चाहती। बड़े अफसोस की बात है कि हम इंजीनियरिंग करके मैनेजमेंट में चले जाते हैं पैकेज के चक्कर में, या कहीं और चले जाते हैं पैकेज के चक्कर में। होता यह है कि सब कुछ टूट जाता है, विज्ञान पीछे रह जाता है, बीएससी नहीं हो पाती, साइंस नहीं बढ़ पाती, इंजीनियरिंग नहीं पढ़ी। वो सब जो आपने पढ़ाई की, देश का पैसा जिस पे लगवाया, वो सब बेकार कर देते हैं आप कुछ पैसे कमाने के लिए। ये पैकेज ही है जो हमारा सब कुछ डिसेंट्रलाइज करके बैठी है। आप पैसे कमा रहे हैं किस कॉस्ट पे? ठीक है, आपको अपना आराम मिल रहा है, लेकिन विज्ञान पीछे रह गया, इंजीनियरिंग पीछे रह गई, सब पीछे रह गया, मैनेजमेंट आगे बढ़ गया। किसको मैनेज कर रहे हैं? फिर सवाल ही उठता है, आप मैनेजमेंट किसका कर रहे हैं? मैनेजमेंट तो इंडस्ट्री का होता है, बिजनेस का होता है, साइंसेस का होता है। आप मैनेज क्या करेंगे? वो रहेंगे तो आप मैनेज करेंगे। एक तरह से पॉलिसी ही नहीं है देश की कोई, और यहाँ ही नहीं, बाहर भी नहीं है। वो फिर भी कुछ कर पाएंगे, आप उतना भी नहीं कर पाएंगे। इसलिए ध्यान दो सीखने पे, लाइफ के हिसाब से, प्रैक्टिकल के हिसाब से। होता क्या है, आज इंजीनियरिंग करके लोग आ जाते हैं, और भी दूसरे साइंस के सब्जेक्ट्स करके आ जाते हैं, एप्लीकेशन नहीं करते। इंजीनियरिंग करके क्या हम टेक करेंगे, पीएचडी करेंगे, कर लीजिए, या हम इंजीनियरिंग करके मैनेजमेंट में जाएंगे। भाई इंजीनियरिंग से मैनेजमेंट का क्या प्रोग्रेशन है, मुझे कोई बता सकता है? इसके अलावा कि मैं जनरल मैनेजमेंट करूंगा, मैं ह्यूमन रिसोर्स मैनेजमेंट करूंगा, फिर आपने इंजीनियरिंग क्यों की? खाली उसमें एडमिशन लेने के लिए की, या पैसे कमाने के लिए की? अगर इंजीनियरिंग में से आप पैसे कमाना चाहते हैं तो इंजीनियरिंग में पैसे नहीं मिलने वाले, आप भूल जाइए। खास तौर से वो इंजीनियरिंग जो बेसिक्स हैं, उसमें पैसा नहीं मिलेगा। और अगर आप पैसा कमाने के लिए ही जी रहे हैं तो इंजीनियरिंग में मत जाइए, बिल्कुल मत जाइए। पैसा कमाने के लिए दुकान खोल लीजिए, बिजनेस कर लीजिए, सब्जी बेच लीजिए, मंडी में कुछ भी कर सकते हैं पैसा कमाने के लिए। उसमें आपको क्या जरूरत है कि आप होटल की चेन खोल लीजिए, कुछ भी कर लीजिए। इंजीनियरिंग का मत बर्बादी कीजिए। जो कोई दूसरा पढ़ सकता था उसकी आप छीन लेते हैं, क्या फायदा उसका? वही मेडिकल में होता है, आपने पैसे कमाने तो क्यों मेडिकल करते हैं? मेडिकल पैसे कमाने के लिए होता है। ये सोच बदल लिया आपने, दिशा बदल लिया अपने आप। फायदा क्या उसका? बर्बादी का। खुश होते हैं आप, बहुत खुश होते हैं, होते रहिए। आप सोचिए, जो विद्या आपको मिल रही है, क्या वो बेचने के लिए मिलती है या काम करने के लिए मिलती है? इंजीनियरिंग बहुत बड़ा फील्ड है, मेडिकल भी बहुत बड़ा फील्ड है। उस फील्ड में आप जिंदगी भर भी काम करेंगे तो समाप्त नहीं होगा। लेकिन आप बाइंड कर देते हैं अपने आप को कि मैंने तो मैनेजमेंट में पैकेज लेनी, और ये सबके साथ है, आपके साथ नहीं है। खाली हर पढ़ा लिखा माँ बाप चाहता है मेरा बच्चा खूब कमाए। कमाए क्या करके कमाएगा? किससे कमाएगा? देश को तो डेवलप नहीं कर रहे हैं आप तो सब विदेश को डेवलप कर रहे हैं, विदेशी कंपनी को डेवलप कर रहे हैं। आप अपने लिए क्या कर रहे हैं? देश के लिए सोचना चाहिए। अगर मैं इंजीनियरिंग करके मैनेजमेंट चला जाता तो मैं भी किसी का मोहरा बन जाता, बस ये करो तो ये मिलेगा, वो करो, इंजीनियरिंग को भूल जाता। जब मुझे अपना प्रोजेक्ट करके देखता हूँ यार ये मैंने किया था, तो मुझे अच्छा लगता है। किसी की नौकरी करके पैसे ले लो, बस इतना ही चाहते हैं आप? यही तो होता है। आपको फैसला करना है, आपको एक बैलेंस चाहिए लाइफ में मरने से पहले तक, या आप पैसा कमाने के नौकर हैं? कमा के ऐश किए जाओ, मकान बनाए जाओ, कार चलाए जाओ, और बस हम इतनी पैकेज देते हैं, शाम को आके रोते रहो कि मेरे को इतना स्ट्रेस हो गया, मेरे से इतना काम लेते हैं। या काम तो लेगा जब नोट देगा आपको तो, लेकिन काम उससे भी ज्यादा करते हैं आप इंजीनियरिंग के जब आपके पास प्रोजेक्ट होता है। तो आप शायद जानते नहीं है, वहां स्ट्रेस नहीं होता। आप धूप में भी खड़े रहेंगे, गर्मी में, सर्दी में, बरसात में, बर्फ में, तब भी आपको स्ट्रेस नहीं होगा, क्योंकि आप अपने हिसाब से काम कर रहे हैं, अपने मेहनत से काम कर रहे हैं, अपने डिजाइन से काम कर रहे हैं। आपको वहां स्ट्रेस नहीं होगा। हाँ, उतना पैसा नहीं आपको मिलेगा, इतना ही मैं कहना चाहता हूँ। अपने आप को पैसे पे बाइंड मत करो। जिस तरह से हम कहते हैं अपने आप को धर्म से बाइंड मत करो। किसी भी धर्म से बाइंड करोगे तो आपका दिमाग उससे आगे नहीं बढ़ेगा। जिस तरह से अपने आप को फ्री रखो, किसी का गुलाम मत बना के रखो कि मेरे को तो इतनी पैकेज चाहिए, बस मैं इसी के लिए अपनी जिंदगी बर्बाद कर दूं। ये बात आपको इतनी आसानी से समझ नहीं आएगी, क्योंकि आप कहेंगे शायद इसको पैकेज नहीं मिलेगी इसलिए ऐसी बात कर रहा। हाँ ठीक है, हमको नहीं मिली, हम तो 5 रुपये रोज पे काम करने वाले मजदूर रहे हैं, मजदूर, हम आज भी मजदूर हैं। और जो मजदूर होता है वो सबसे बड़ा होता है। मजदूर के बिना इंडस्ट्री नहीं चल सकती, मजदूर के बिना फैक्ट्री नहीं चल सकती, मजदूर के बिना जहाज नहीं बन सकता, मजदूर के बिना सड़क नहीं बन सकती, और मजदूर के बिना नेता नहीं बन सकता। याद रखिए, कहने को मजदूर है, बेवकूफ है, इंटेलिजेंट नहीं है, लेकिन उसके बिना आप भी नहीं है, याद रख लीजिएगा। मजदूर नहीं तो कोई नहीं, वो मजबूत है, उसका दिमाग इतना ना सही, उसकी मेहनत तो चलती है, पसीना तो चलता है, वो किसी के हराम की तो नहीं खाता, लेकिन वो आपको बनाता है। आपके पास मजदूर होंगे तो आप अकेला क्या कर लेंगे, सोचिए। आप जो इतने मजदूर लेके सब कुछ काम करा लेते हैं, फिर कहते हैं हमने कराया। आपने क्या कराया, आपने तो बताया ऐसा करना है, वो कर देता है।